Let's see what's going on. Nick's sort of taking this side. Oh, he's bringing in the bombers. He's doing some hover bombing. Oh my word! How many units did that just take out? Hello there and welcome to an episode of Planetary Annihilation Titans with me, Dan. This is a 1v1 star ranked cast with that son of a broom and Nicola MX, who is the #1 star ranked player, stank player. They have changed their name. Nick's changed his name to nothing because you can do that apparently. Anyway, he's going bots, metal, air, standard loadout. He is the #1 star ranked player on the game. Very, very fast. Knows what he's doing. So it's very interesting to watch his strategy. A broom is not too far off the top of star. I think he's like 4th star or something like that. So this is going to be an interesting battle, and judging by the length of it, there's going to be a lot of scrapping too. So we've got bots, metal, air into power. Fabrication are doing their thing. We've got 3 fabricators from Nick. And they're sticking together. Now, Broom does have a scout coming over. And now it goes Nick's scout. Broom is just scouting Nick's scout right now. He's just had I'm not really sure if you know why you would bother doing that early game when the standard play is bots metal air. Like, it's always going to be bots metal air, really, with this caliber of player. So I'm not quite sure of the benefit of actually scouting. I guess if they're doing a crazy tactic. We've got 4 fabricators over here. We're scouting and we've got a fighter to support, 2 fighters to support. Broom is doing exactly the same. Four fabricators. We've got a 5th fabricator coming out and then into a docks. What's after a docks? Another docks. So, and more fighters. Double air for Broom, which is interesting. Another scout going out. What have we got over here? Double bots. So the fact we've got a double air is interesting, I guess, from Broom. But of course, Nick hasn't scouted Broom's base, so he wouldn't have seen that. I don't know how that will affect things. We'll have to see. We've got metal. So Nick is actually quite far ahead of metal by this point, which is interesting. I guess Broom's just slightly on the back foot with these fabricators going out. We've got, what's this? A single laser defense to stop early docks raiding. Are we going to put up an air turret as well, or just a wall in front of that plus an air defense? We've got a bomber going out from Broom. We've got a forward base here. So where's that on the? So it's here. So it'll be interesting to see if Broom does the same. I suspect he does. There's going to be a route in. So we've got a bomber here. We want to try and get those fabricators. Oh, he's put his fabricators away at the wrong time. Oh dear. Oh no, that's painful. And Broom has seen that. We need to get some anti-air up, I would suggest. Wow, Broom got a good one there. All 4 fabricators gone out. Nick will be putting fabrication straight back into that queue. Get those fabricators pushing the metal. Broom is going to that could be a pivotal moment in the game, to be honest. That has really put Nick on the back foot, although he does have fabricators over here. He's got 2 over here to claim these metal points, whereas Broom is still lower on the fabricator count. It's still 7 down. We're going into storage in the wonky builds within the craters. So what's he getting now? So we've got double dot bots up, another bot factory, then another air, then a vehicles. So Nick is now sending in some sparks, but this could be really, really painful for Nick. Once again, if he can get those bombs off, he's doing. Ah, no, his bomb's gone down, but he did get 2 of the fabrication, which once again for Nick is going to be highly frustrating. But Nick's not doing the same sort of raiding back, which is interesting. But he is on vehicles already. We've got a sparks and 3 fabricators around here getting metal. Nick is still ahead in metal, even given the fact those fabricators. But we have Broom in Nick's base, taking out his metal extractors. This is going to be painful. He's got air there to support, take out Nick's bombers. These sparks, if managed well, could do some damage to these doxes, but these doxes are going to cause an issue for Nick. Having said that, Nick is floating metal and power. I don't know how these guys do it. They're really good at maintaining economy whilst building out and fighting across this. We've got 2 fabricators from Broom on air fabrication. Nick saw his opportunity, took those out. He's also got these 2 doxes taking out some of Broom's metal, which is a problem for Broom. We've got a lot of units here pushing forwards once again. We have a factory from Nick, another vehicles factory. I don't see Broom pushing forwards with factories very much, whereas Nick really is. I think Broom, you know, I'm no expert, but I think Broom needs to expand out with his forward. He's always telling me to move forwards with my fabrication. You need to do the same. So, coming down here, Nick has quite an army of doxes and sparks and a flame tank pushing into this region here. But Broom does have 5 tanks and a flame tank there. If we can get that flame tank in, it could cause some damage. Nick's getting out fabricators here, but he's floating metal, not so much on power. But he's going into T2 at this point. I don't know how far we're into this game. He's into T2. The clock's broken. Oh, 8 minutes in. So, yeah, that's about right. 8-minute mark for T2. Has Broom gone into T2 as yet? No. So, Broom is still behind on metal. Nick is so far ahead on metal, he's floating it. Really needs to store or use it, but power is a desperate attempt by the commander right now. Nick's got his air and bombers to do some damage here, but Broom's bombers are searching for things to kill too. But Nick has locked all of these areas down. Other than these, with this forward radar, he's actually let's go on Nick's view so he can see Broom's airs here. And as such, he's probably going to bring in his fighters close. Or doubt he's got a few bombers in there too. How many have you got? It's 12 factories from Broom now. And he's starting to suffer on metal. Nick is once again expanding out the metal, which is great. Got these forward factories everywhere. Broom has tanks on the way. This fabricator is starting to build more metal extractors because Broom is now behind on the metal versus his build. He's going into T2 now, so we're at 9.5 minutes. So Nick is ahead on T2 quite considerably. He's now storing his metal. About time, Nick. Storing his metal and going into orbital too. Interesting. We're getting out advanced fabricators to get advanced eco. We've got this annoying little spark from Broom around this side. And we've got these metal extractors going up. So this feels quite even at the moment. We've got Nick slightly ahead. Okay, we've got orbital radar going up. Let's see what Nick can see. Yeah, so orbital radar. Was this I'm pretty sure this is just radar. But it could just be ground vision. No, it's just ground vision. So he's getting orbital ground vision up. And he's also having a little bit of the scrap around here. We've got... What's happening here? We've got Broom's factory, I think, went down. Yeah, it did. We've got 2 fabricators not doing anything, but I suspect that would be a good place for a couple of factories, I would have thought. Broom is expanding quite heavily here. He's going to want to put some defence up. Once he sees this group of units, pull those fabricators back. He's straight into a double laser, which is good. And he's got the build power there as well to pull that off. Hopefully he can lock down this section of metal. Got 2 We've got an air and a vehicle factory. We've got air pushing out fabricators. Where's this scrap? So there's a scrap going in between some tanks, flame tanks, and a laser wall. There's quite a lot of lasers there. I have a feeling he's just forgotten about these units. What we got going on around here? More air. We're going heavier air from Broom. But Nick does have the much higher army value at this point, which is a sort of combined value depending on... I don't know what it depends on, but because he's got T2 out and Broom hasn't, his value is a lot higher. We've got a decent army around here, but we do have heavy air, and Broom is bringing in the his own comparable force. We have an artillery from Broom, which is just picking off the units of Nick's. I don't know if Nick has seen this artillery picking off his units, but that's a good move from Broom. He can obviously see this. Yeah, he's seen this on radar. And he's just picking them out. But we do have... We're going to want more lasers. More lasers. And bring in these units. We've got T2... what are they? Slammers in there. Which have a very high attack rate. So, yeah. I'm not sure how this is going to do. Or how this is going to fare. I think it might be pretty even. There's nothing else going on around. But the problem with Star Ranks is that there's always wars on multiple fronts. We've got Nick's orbital ground vision, seeing what's going on. And the fabricators desperately trying to take out. But we have lots of anti-air in there, and all of Nick's bombers went down with that attempt. And Nick withdraws his units. He does have a... Does he have a sniper in there? Yeah, he's got a sniper in there too, so he can sit back and take a few hits if he's got vision. A lot of air from Broom around this side now. And if we look at the army count, Broom is far ahead, as well as factory count. Broom is significantly ahead on factory count. Let's have a look at their army value. So Broom is now ahead on army value too. I'm guessing his T2's online. And is pumping out a fabricator currently. We've got Commander assisting the T2 factory. And he's pumping out more fabricators. Be interested to see what sort of units he gets out of there. Obviously Nick did have T2 vehicles going up too. And Broom's metal is suffering, whereas Nick is far ahead on the metal. Although Broom's not too far behind on metal. Nick is floating once again. Store that, Nick. I'll tell you the now. Store it or use it. But his power is suffering again, so could really do with another power plant, which is one's going up around here. Broom's sending in a bit of an army here. I don't know how Nick's going to respond to this. We've got all these units sitting idle, so I'd hope they come towards it. Once that power's online. So this is where Nick is starting to stall. His power's causing issues. Units aren't able to come out the base as quickly as he'd like. Okay, we've got a bit of orbital fighting going on now. And this group of units from Nick is coming around the back of Broom's units. But at the rate these are going to cause a bit of an issue. Perhaps take out these factories, if he can get them in there. We got any fighting going on anywhere else? Okay, Broom's got the air lead, I would say, now as well. Air superiority. And is just eating up little ground unit groups of Nicks that are obviously doing raiding. Broom right into the base now. Flame tanks just run away from Nick's units. That's a good tactic. But we also have Broom coming in this side with another group of units, which is causing a bit of damage to Eco. Having said that, they're even on Eco. Broom is outspending though Nick at this point. Nick is quite happy. Broom's units air here is just decimating. He's got so many bombers in there. He's clicked loads of... I'm not quite sure why he's going towards these guys. Just leave him be. It's because he's got so many bombers in there. He's just done loads of raiding of metal spots, and now he is ahead on metal and power. We're over here, we've got Nick coming out with a load of T2 vehicles and bots. Going to clean up Broom's units here, but this Air Force is a real threat now, I would suggest. And I would be surprised if he didn't go into T2 Air. We've only still got one T2 factory from Broom. And he's trying to take out fabrication without losing too many bombers. Not fabrication, extractors. But Nick does have a significant air force. And Broom has separated the bombers from the fighters. So I think this is going to be a fairly even trade, is it? Oh, Broom's won that trade. Look at the air wreckage ready for the taking. Broom is now significantly ahead on metal. Oh, a factory was left to rot. It's got T2 economy going up, that's why. T2 metal extractors. Let's see what's going on. Nick's sort of taking this side. Oh, he's bringing in the bombers. He's doing some hover bombing. Oh my word! How many units did that just take out? We got 66 units here, if not more. 69. And Broom does his hover bombing, even though there's anti-air in there. It's hover bombing, and it's just absolutely decimated Nick's army. So it took out half the army. All the T1 disappeared. Broom, that was a mega move there. That was quite a threat, that army. And now Broom is definitely on the upper hand. Metal is significantly better. I'm surprised, if I'm honest, Broom hasn't pushed any more factories. But he has a much higher factory count already. Okay, so we've got Nick going into T2 Metal 2. Are all his metal extractors in his base T2? Yes, they are. So he's just starting to expand out. Oh, bad place to park your units there, Broom. Straight on top of an extractor. But this unit group, which has a few T2 bots in it, should be able to take out this load of units, hopefully. What we got going on around here? So we've got some fighting over this side, just a few little bits from Nick to try and lock down these metal extractors. He's pushing back hard. Broom is really pushing hard. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a GG, although we've got a while left. This group of units is going to cause a real issue. I've got triple laser turret going up from Nick around this side. And he's seen that Broom is obviously going to come and try and pick out his metal extractors. Broom also has some anti-orbital fighters just to take out, I'm guessing to take out radar and ground vision from Nick. So we've got an Arcid here. I think that's orbital radar, is it? I don't know. Is that orbital radar? It's definitely not ground vision. I think it's radar, but it only works when you've got power. So yeah, whoa. Well, it might be ground vision, but it's radar and ground vision. Yeah, big time radar radius. You see that all come online, but he hasn't got power, so it's not working. But we have that group of units from Broom has really suffered in that last 15 seconds. Let's have a look. So we've got T2 vehicles coming forwards. He's getting pincered into laser turrets. Triple laser here, obviously, which might cause a bit of an issue. Got hover tanks and slammers. Broom likes his hover tanks and normal tanks in there. It's a good mix of units. What we got around here is Broom got T2 vehicles. He has. It's around this side now. So he's assisting out units. We've got 24 to 14 factories. And has a much higher army count than Nick does. Triple laser turret's just going to eat all these units. I don't know if Broom will be able to get this down with this amount of units. I don't think he will. Eats the entire thing. Oh, big air scrap round here. That looked like it probably hit the bombers hard. So he's going for the anti-air. Taking out anti-air first. Nix brings in his fighters and clips the bomber edge. Ouch. Takes quite a few bombers out there. But to be honest, with the factory count from Broom, air factory count. Where are the air factories? I wanted to count them. Where we are. Air factory? Hello? Oh, so there. So if I try and count those, in my vision here, we've got 7 air factories versus Nick's 5. So that's why Broom has the upper hand. He's also much further ahead on metal. And Nick is not spending it either. He's got metal and power in floating. So, you know, once again, he probably needs to store that metal. Look at me criticising the #1 star ranked player. But, yeah, I see that as you need to store that, Nick. So, we're coming around this side. We've got Broom scouting with his bombers. Taking out those metal spots again. Are really, really quick to take out. I mean, how many bombers has he got in this group before they went down? I don't know. 6 bombers now. That's enough to do, you know, take out all of this, especially with he's got his air there. He's got so many fighters in there that Nick has no response. Takes out all 4 metal spots. Plus the anti-air and a fabricator. There's another fabricator there if he's watching. We've got quite a lot of units going on here, and Broom's just got his orbital fighters out to get ground radar. He sees this ground radar, takes it out. Although they're quite tough by the looks of things. I mean, the orbital fighters are pathetic anyway. They don't really need groups of them to do anything. So we have a small attack around this side from Nick. I guess a small push to try and take out some eco, perhaps. Because no way is he going to survive with 3 anti-air. But Broom has seen that and is pulling away. But this group of units, we've got an attack around this side of Nick's base and some units in Nick's base this side. So I'm guessing Nick's just wanting to try and push, you know, a small amount. Try and take out something at least. Snipers can take out air, of course. I can hear a lot of fighting. What is going on? Is it here? Yeah. So they will probably make light work of all this area here, but there is a big scrap going on around this side. Nick's holding back his artillery, which is really good. I'm assuming he can do that easily. I find that really difficult to select, you know, to select the unit and pull back. But I think if you do an attack radius, if you select load of units and do an attack radius, then they stay at their furthest reach. Yeah, so like these are far away from units and they're going to cause a bit of damage. So what else have we got going on? We've got a big group of units around this side. This group from Nick took out this expansion from Broom. Finally, and we're pushing forward. This is scraps on all sides. This planet is, for watching Ubers, they used to be Ubers, star ranked. They really have taken like a line down the middle, and it's just war on all fronts. Broom has this massive group of units into Nick's base though. I'd like to see a star rank game where the commander actually gets killed because they always GG when they see it not being able to win. They just GG. Look at this, 6 levelers. This is a massive game, big line of power there from Broom. But this group of units is going to cause issues. Nick's holding on in there. He really is. Even though he's caught up massively on the factory count. How many? So we've got T2 air going up as well now. So Broom, has he got any more T2 factories? I've noticed he's kind of stopped building factories at this point. Even though I'm pretty sure he could afford more. He's only got the 2 T2 factories, whereas Nick has switched to T2. And he's got two T2 vehicles, T2 bots, and he's now getting T2 air. But Nick GG'd that. I mean, obviously Broom was coming in with waves and waves and waves because he had the army count from early lead. But if Nick had kept that going with that, if he built that T2 air as well, he might have been able to push back. If Broom didn't expand as well, of course. But anyway, that was a really fascinating game. A lot of fighting going on. If you like that kind of thing, please just comment down below. Tell me, Dan, more star ranked games. I want to see more. And let's go to the game stats whilst we're waiting. Yeah, and if you want any more, then please do. let me know. We've got Broom's units. They were even here, and something happened here. I think it was power. We go to the energy production. So Broom was just ahead on power, and that was... So obviously Nick wasted loads of metal too. Metal demand was always higher for Broom because he was getting out more factories. Metal production was ahead on Nick for ages, which is why he was wasting it. Build efficiency is all over the place. Let's have a look at units in combat. So like it was really low here, and then Nick started clawing it back. But yeah, really fascinating game. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll see you all later. Bye.